Hi, I'm Lawrence.
I'm Nick.
Welcome to the Nick and Lawrence Show. And a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and Happy Holidays. So, I see you're a little festive today.
Yep, as usual this time of the year.
And just so you are aware, I'm not dressed up to give more attention to Lawrence. I don't want to distract from his festivities because he can't be outdone, so I don't even try. So
I always try to make sure I have a spare Christmas hat.
Yep. He's full decked out. Jingle bells.
Yep.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about this episode?
I think we're going to go into some Christmas highlights and stuff, and
okay.
As we're kind of wrapping up 2019. So
Hard to believe.
Yep.
Feels like
okay. Well, the thing is it's getting to the point of we're getting ready for a new decade.
Yeah, I know. A whole new decade. Wonder what it's going to be like in 2020.
So, so I definitely brought some Christmas stuff. I brought a few books. If you take a mouse to the movies. I brought How the Grinch Stole Christmas, a very classic book. Now, Nick had showed last year, a year ago, when we did our Christmas special, we did the Polar Express. I actually brought mine.
Oh, nice.
But this one is a 2004 release when the Polar Express movie came out, because you'll see in the bottom it says, now a major motion picture.
Okay.
At the very bottom.
Underneath the slipcover, it still looks like the old one, right?
It's still purple.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, I have the original one, which I showed last year, which you can see in this video.
Yeah.
And then what else you got?
So I brought back my Happy Holidays from Sesame Street Christmas DVDs, so we can kind of touch on that. Brought Santa Claus is Real, and I brought How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I wanted to these books are things we've already kind of covered, but I was thinking about this as being Christmas and stuff. I wanted to kind of go into detail that this episode, I just found the part 2 to this episode. This thing is available on Amazon, but there is a part 2 where Santa Claus does come back to the neighborhood of make-believe. So there's kind of like a two-parter thing, and I found an episode all about that and the whole detail of that. But I also wanted to go into this one because the Sesame Street one, because Carol Spinney, who played Big Bird, just passed away just this month, and
I heard about that.
And since it is Christmas, the day after Christmas happens to be his what would have been his 86th birthday.
Oh wow, okay.
So he's coming up on. So it's kind of nice that this is December. It's the day after Christmas, and
it's right around the 50th anniversary of Sesame Street.
Right. And so, but this one is one of my favorite. At least the Christmas Eve on Sesame Street is now 41 years old.
Well, so who's been doing Big Bird's voice and character?
Yeah. So we'll do that. So Matt Vogel has been the understudy for the last 22 years, roughly.
Okay.
But Carol Spinney had been doing voicing and stuff, and when Carol Spinney didn't want to do something, he'd have Matt Vogel fill in for him as the bird.
Got it.
But
that's cool.
So the Santa Claus is Real one, which is kind of fun. So this one is probably one of the most unique Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood episodes out there, because what happens in the storyline is that Fred comes in with this wonderful box, and you're wondering, okay, what's in the box? We find out it's a Santa Claus suit. Now, the problem with the Santa Claus suit is that it's too big for him, so he finds one of his neighbors, who is Chef Braca. And Chef Braca puts on the Santa Claus suit. They show a couple of their neighbors, and that's the reality. And then Fred says, well, let's do some make-believe about Santa Claus. Daniel, Tiger, and Cornflake especially, which are two of the puppets, actually do talk to Santa Claus. And Santa Claus wants to use Corny for some rocking chairs as his factory. And Daniel's really concerned that Santa Claus is too scary of a character. And so, but then, a lot of other fun things. So it's not technically, it wasn't aired on Christmas. It was actually aired on February 19th of 73. But everybody has kind of made this to be a Christmas classic. And then, like I said, there's a part 2 where Santa Claus does appear in the next day's neighborhood to make believe, and Lady Elaine wants to cut his hair, and they make snow and all that stuff.
Got it.
So there's kind of like a two-parter thing, and it makes you feel like it's Christmas.
Cool.
So that's, in a nutshell, that's that one.
Okay.
And then Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, which is really been my favorite. I mean, there's three different
Episodes.
shows on here, but the one I like is Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, where Big Bird is going ice skating with his friends, and let's see. Oh yeah. So they're all going ice skating. They play Snap the Whip. Oscar falls down the stairs of the ice skating rink. Big Bird and his friend check to see if he's okay. He's like, oh, he's okay. But then, Big Bird is all excited about Christmas the next day. But Oscar starts teasing him and saying, how does Santa Claus get down those tiny little chimneys? And it just causes problems. And then the whole gang kind of just asks the question of, okay, how does Santa Claus get down and everything else? So, I mean, that's pretty much a nutshell. But I really like the beginning because they've got like these large costume characters of the Muppets on ice skates. So it's not just the typical Muppets.
You're right. So it looks like they're real.
They look like they're real with legs and the whole hands and everything. So, but yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Of the three. I mean, there's two other, but they're all based with Elmo, and I was never a really big fan of Elmo. I was more Big Bird, Cookie Monster, the originals. So yeah, so that's. Then of course they've got a really old school 50th anniversary. I think this was a 2006 release. So this would have come out in 1956.
Okay, 1956. Wow.
Yeah. So I think now it's officially 60. So
yeah, and if you remember, we did the video last year. I think I did a couple videos on the Grinch, but we did one after we went and saw the movie. The new Grinch came out. The new animated one came out last Christmas time, and we did a video on that, which you can check out here. But I remember that one was really good. I think I own it actually. So I like the new one. It's funny.
Yeah. So got like I showed you, the Polar Express. You have the Grinch book. This one is kind of my favorite because it's a takeoff of another kid's book called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. It was a book that came out when we were much older, but I kind of fell in love. Even at 10, I kind of fell in love with the story, and this one's kind of just fun about a mouse going to the movie with his little friend. And it starts off with a container of popcorn, and it goes kind of full circle in the book.
Okay.
And it goes right back to, by chances, if you give a mouse popcorn, he'll want you to go to the movie, and that's kind of how the book ends. But just a really fun circle, kind of like if you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for a glass of milk, and then it goes through all the little details. But this Christmas one is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely
I'm sure your siblings probably heard about them.
Yeah.
I don't think my siblings knew about it. I just found out about it because I was teaching for a little while later on as an adult, and found that book to read to some kids. Okay. So it's become a favorite of mine. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, the books came out in like 93 or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that would have been when we were past our age.
Yeah, past our age.
So probably our siblings.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure my sister she probably had that one, and if you give a mouse a cookie. Right. Yeah, I remember that one.
There's like several different animals in this series that they go through this. You give them moose a muffin, and all, or it's just really interesting to have animals have something, and then they go through this whole thing, and then you find out what they need in order to get that object again. So yeah, a little bit of Christmas nostalgic and
So as we go on in this video, we don't want to go too long, but I think to leave off, since we want to let you get back to your holiday celebrations, why don't we both say one thing that something nostalgic from Christmas time, like similar to this that was your favorite, like one thing from the Christmas holidays that's your favorite that that's nostalgic.
Right. Let's see, Christmas nostalgic. I guess for me, and nothing here, but I guess my favorite thing has been watching some of the Christmas movies. I think the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen has always been a fun nostalgic thing for me. I guess I'm making a new Christmas tradition with my nephew that's kind of becoming fun tradition, and that is we're giving each other the same Disney movies and stuff. Like we just saw a lot of Disney movies over this summer. Lion King, Aladdin, Toy Story 4. But we made a tradition for the last few years. Every time Disney movies come out and then they get their DVD or Blu-ray release, we make we kind of exchange the same gift.
Oh, okay.
So that's become kind of Christmas tradition that we've been doing for the last few years.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, like what you were saying about watching movies, I always enjoy watching Home Alone.
Right.
And both of them are Christmas movies, but I think I like Home Alone 2 better. You know,
yeah, Home Alone 2, it's in New York and stuff.
Yeah, because it's in New York and it's Christmas time and it's. I was around the same age when that movie came out, and so I liked all the gadgets and like the different pranks and stuff. So I like that. One of the other traditions that's always on is watching A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And it's not really a great movie, you know. Like
yeah,
I don't really love that movie, but I like watching it for the nostalgia. And then of course around Christmas time, watching It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street, and then.
I think White Christmas is another
favorite.
I know we have a movie theater that's called the Crest Theater in Sacramento that's really fun at Christmas time, and I've gone a few years, and it's another tradition of mine where I'm going and seeing that
White Christmas,
but I'm seeing it at the Crest because it's a really kind of an old-fashioned theater, so it makes you feel right at home watching
that's fun
the movie and stuff in an original like 1950s theater.
Yeah. When are you gonna go see that?
Well, it's but with this now being Christmas, it's already kind of
You already saw it?
Well, I've already seen. Yeah. So it usually comes right before Christmas.
Got it. Okay.
So it comes, I think, 2 or 3 days. I think they do White Christmas, Muppet Christmas Carol. They do It's a Wonderful Life. So they do several movies at the Crest Theater, and they do it from probably the 23rd of December all the way up to December 25th.
Okay.
So they do it right in the Christmas Eve area.
Well, that's fun. If you're in the area, go check that out. If you're not in the area, let us know in the comments if your area does something like that at a local theater. Yeah. And then always, as always, let us know in the comments what you thought of this video, what your favorite Christmas holiday tradition is, and give us a like and thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. Yep.
Check our Instagram page for details, and we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yep. Until next year.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm Lawrence.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you next time. Happy New Year.
Happy Christmas.